Are you looking to relocate from the diaspora to Nigeria? If your answer is yes, here are the things that you need to do. You need to know these things before relocating from the diaspora to Nigeria. They are very crucial factors that you must consider and you have to prepare for them. The first one is your source of income. Before making the big move, it's crucial to ensure you have a stable source of income. There are several options that you can consider, you can explore. A remote job is a great option. You can start by exploring opportunities that matches your skills and qualification. Having a source of income will provide you this financial stability that can ease a lot of stress during your transition. It can actually make or break this transition. So, if you're looking to work in Nigeria, you need to make sure that you have a secure job, like you've secured one already, or you have a job offer in place. I would say research. These are obvious things, but it is, it's good to hear it from somebody else sometimes. So you can research jobs and you can connect with potential employers or recruitment agencies. One good thing you need to do is to understand the work culture and employment laws in Nigeria. Now, when it comes to employment laws, you have to be aware that the implementation in Nigeria is totally different, and in most cases, the things they do and the way they do it, they are basically done in a non-satisfactory manner. So this is one factor you have to consider. If you're already working remotely from the country where you reside and you plan to continue working remotely for that same company, it is very important that you confirm with the company that you can do so legally in Nigeria. Another thing is to make sure you understand the tax implications. Another good one is establishing a business, like setting up a business. If you're planning to start or you want to run a business here in Nigeria, my dear, you have to do your homework. Like, you have to do research upon research. Like, you conduct thorough research on the Nigerian market. You need to understand the demand for your business idea. You need to identify your target audience, and you need to analyze your competitors. Another thing to check will be the regulation. It is very important that you familiarize yourself with the legal requirement for setting up a business in Nigeria. But the good thing with Nigeria is it is relatively easy to set a company up. It is relatively easy to set up a business in Nigeria. This includes registering your business, obtaining necessary licenses, and adhering to local regulations. This takes me to networking. I cannot emphasize on this enough. You need to build a network of contacts here in Nigeria. This can include potential business partners, local entrepreneurs, and industry experts who can, provide you with valuable insights and support. Having this well thought out business plan tailored to the Nigerian market is a key to your success. I would like to add that even though you have a source of income and you have a job in place, or you want to set up a business, one thing I would like to add here is you need to have savings. You need to ensure that you have sufficient savings to support yourself during this transition. It is important you have this in place because the cost of living can vary significantly across different regions of Nigeria. So you can budget accordingly. It is recommended that on top of your savings, you should have some form of income in place, like what I have explained initially in this video. So having all this in place would help you to mitigate the financial uncertainty during this transition period. I'll move on to awareness of Nigerians' economic situation. I must say the Nigerian economy is very peculiar, like unique, if I can say that myself. So you need to stay informed about the current situation. As we speak, the cost of living, exchange rate is gone off the roof. So we need to I mean, you need to understand the economic indicators like inflation rates, exchange rates, and GDP growth. This will help you to make informed financial decisions. These are key factors that you have to consider if you're planning to relocate to Nigeria. As a Nigerian, it's not a new thing when we talk about challenges and struggles that we go through here in Nigeria. So, in case you don't know, you need to find out, you need to, ask questions, you need to find out these things yourself and be aware of the potential economic challenges like fluctuation of the currency values. As we speak, a pound is 2,000 naira in Nigeria. So the exchange rate has been off the roof. You need to check the infrastructures, the issues with the infrastructure. In Nigeria, don't expect the same infrastructure that you can get, out there in the West. So these are the things that you have to check, and you need to be aware of that. Political instability, since after independence, it has always been like that. Preparing or having a contingency plan will mitigate this risk. You need to also identify areas of economic growth and opportunity, and this will be handy if you're going into business. You can check out sectors like technology, agriculture, and real estate. These sectors are experiencing significant development, and it could actually offer lucrative prospects for yourself. The next one will be preparing your children. I remembered years ago when we talk about this with our children, we show them videos of, children, other children in Nigeria. Although they've been to Nigeria before, but they were quite young when they visited, and they could, they can barely remember what it felt like. Apart from my first daughter, she actually remembers most of the things, most of our experience in Nigeria. So if you have children, you need to prepare them mentally and emotionally for the move. With teenagers, it can be quite tricky. That is why it is good to bring them for a visit during holidays. They can come spend some time. They can meet their cousins, other family members, their grandma, their grandpas, their uncles, like you can meet their relatives. Another important thing to discuss with the children with regards to preparing them for the move will be to discuss about changes that they would likely or will be facing here in Nigeria. That will be their new schools, the friends they are going to make. You talk to them about your childhood. You talk to them about your growing up here in Nigeria as a student. Basically, what is obtainable here in Nigeria. I believe this will ensure that they are part of the process, and this can make the transition a lot easier for them. Another thing I would like to talk about will be the cultural adaptation. This, I believe, is very, very important because when you understand the cultural norms and the social etiquette here in Nigeria, it actually helps it helps you to integrate well, integrate more smoothly, and it will actually help to build a better relationship with your neighbor, like the people around you, the locals, and the community at large. And in Nigeria here, we do things quite differently from what you would get in the UK. I would give you an instance. My boy, that's Miguel, it's not like he's a lefty, but I think it's a habit thing for him. He likes to use his left hand to do things, not like he's naturally a lefty, if that makes sense. So I keep saying to him that in Nigeria, this is actually against the norms, especially from where I come from. I'm from Imo State, so I'm Igbo. So in Nigeria, if you give an elder something with your left hand, it is considered you being rude, like you're being disrespectful. If you place something on top of a table, or if you place something on, or an object on a table or somewhere, and if a grown-up is there, they will tell you off. The reason is because they see it as being rude, as being, like I said before, disrespectful, and you not caring for what you are doing. So I say that to my son. He knows that already. So, which means that when we come to Nigeria, he has that at the back of his head. Even if he wants to do it, somehow that consciousness is there, and that would help him to, move whatever he's holding to his right hand before presenting it to a grown-up here in Nigeria. Another thing I would want to say again, like another instance would be on the dinner table. In England, that is one time we all sit down and eat and talk about our day, what we've been up to during the day. That's when we bond. That's one of our bonding times. And we basically talk as we, enjoy our meals. But here in Nigeria, it's the other way around. So here in Nigeria, when we eat or when we're eating, we tend not to talk. I remembered my children, they started talking at some point, talking about their day and stuff. And my dad, that is their granddad, was like, no, you shouldn't talk whilst you're eating. It was like, as you're eating and talking at the same time, you might get choked. Just finish your food and you can continue with whatever conversation you are having. And my children were like, okay. So those are one of the things I'm talking about, preparing them, talking to them about what is obtainable here in Nigeria. Because back in England, some of the things that we do, we just do it because that's the norm. That's what is obtainable there. It's not a crime. It's not a bad. Nobody frowns at it. You can do it and get away with it as a Nigerian there. But here in Nigeria, it is really important for them to know the social etiquette and norms here. That would actually, help them to interact well with people and to make friends and build relationship with the people here in Nigeria. Another thing that I would like to talk about, which is very, very important, is the housing. I remembered whilst we were still in the UK and we're talking about, moving to Nigeria, we had so many options that we were considering, like, renting, building, short let, depending on how long we were or you are planning to stay. So you need to research housing options that you have, especially in the destination, that's the city where you are going to be staying. You need to consider factors like the proximity to work, safety, amenities. One thing you should be looking, or things that you should be looking or considering when you're looking for a place to stay, will be the distance of hospital. If there is a hospital, how far away is it from where you'll be staying or living? Police station, how far it is, or how long it's going to take you to get there, or if you need them to come around, how long it's going to take them, things like that. Church, if you're a Christian, mosques, if you are a Muslim, things like that. You need to check how far the distance it is from your house to the place. So these are the things that you have to consider and see what works for you as a family in terms of your finance. If you think renting a place, especially if you're not very sure, if you're not 100% sure of everything, but you have to be very sure about such move before actually making it. If there's any doubt, my dear, I would say hold on before making the move. So considering things like that would actually help you to make a good decision. I'm talking about budgeting. Obviously, building a house from scratch would need more money. You need more finance to do that. Renting will be more flexible and more cost effective in a very short period of time, if that is what you're looking to do, because you can decide, okay, I've lived there for 1 year or 2 years and I don't like this place, I want to move to somewhere else. It is very flexible. You can actually do that. I know most people opt for the rent option because it's very flexible. Then the building or buying a house, a property, is another option if you've got the finance available. That would actually make more sense in the long run. Yeah, so you need to check all these options that you have and see what works for you as a family. So moving on, I would like to say that you should be prepared to adapt quickly to your new reality. I say this because in Nigeria, when you come to Nigeria, for me, how do I actually put this? For me, because I was born here, I lived here till my early 20s before leaving for the UK. I know what Nigeria is like. Unfortunately, most of the things that we have been facing in terms of struggles and challenges are still the same. The people are still the same, the tradition is still the same, the culture is still the same. Nothing has actually changed. So I know what to expect. So I was prepared mentally, emotionally, and physically, and I'm ready to adapt to my new circumstance. So I think it will really help. Not I think, I believe it will help you with your move here in Nigeria. And you need to understand that things might not actually go as planned. That is okay. It's just for you to be flexible and be open to changes, and this can help you to navigate unexpected challenges and make the transition smoother. One thing I would add is to carry everybody along. It doesn't make sense if you have this drive, if you're hungry to come to Nigeria, to come and live or stay in Nigeria, and your family, I mean your children and husband or partner, is not in the same space with you when it comes to moving. I would say make sure that everybody is on the same page with you. Talking to your husband about it and making them see reasons. With time, everybody would be in that same space with you. They might not be ready mentally, or physically or emotionally to face what they already know they are going to face in Nigeria, and sometimes they don't even know what they are going to face in Nigeria. So that fear of uncertainty can actually make them not want to take that plunge and just stay where they are, because they know what to expect. They are used to the system over there in the UK, or any other place like the US or Australia, as the case may be. So you need to make sure that you're on the same page with your spouse and children. This is really important. So having an open and honest discussions with your spouse, your husband or your wife, as the case may be, about your expectations, your fear, and and your plans. A unified approach will make the relocation process more cohesive and less challenging. I believe that when you address these key points I have listed or explained in this video, you can be better prepared for a successful and less stressful relocation to Nigeria from anywhere you are in the world. I hope this has helped. I'll be coming again with more of this kind of video. So thank you so much for watching. And if you found this video very helpful, please do not forget to, do the needful, like, share, and subscribe for more tips and advice on how to relocate from the diaspora to Nigeria. Thank you so much for watching. See you again in my next video. Bye bye.